Hi, girl. Hi, girl. Hey friends, good morning. We just got done collecting eggs. You can hear the chickens going crazy in the background. It is a beautiful morning and I wanted to show you guys kind of a late summer fall garden tour. I told Sebastian it's kind of the good, the bad, and the ugly right now. I think someone's laying an egg. I think they're singing the egg song. But anyway, we have some beautiful things that are growing. We have some things that just, you know, are in transition between late summer and fall. They're ready to be ripped out. And some ugly things because you guys, the deer found our garden. They have held off this long, which has been a blessing. We haven't had them most of the summer, but I don't know if it's because they're trying to eat up for the winter, but they've kind of decimated some areas. So I'm going to show you guys that too and just show you real life and what's going on. So let's go ahead and go on and see.
Hey, lady. I got something for you. It's hot. Careful.
What is it?
Pumpkin pie spice, or pumpkin spice latte. I don't know why I can't ever get the name right.
We'll call it pumpkin pie. My favorite. Oh, it is hot, but it's my favorite when it's really hot. Oh, it's so good and so real. I always tell Sebastian I love when it burns going down.
I call you grandma.
Calls me a grandma. Look at that.
How's the tour?
That's the best. It's like real pumpkin flavor, not a syrup. Because I don't usually. Does it have coffee in it?
Yes, I told him that you only like
Yeah, I usually don't like coffee. Like a lot of coffee.
super
stuff.
coffee strong, so I tried to make up a recipe, as you know how that went. So I did about a 4th cup of coffee for the whole thing. So not a ton.
I love it. Oh, it's my favorite. Thank you, friend. I love it. Thank you, Fred. That's
Oh, you're
so
welcome.
special and so fun. Makes
Enjoy.
my day. Thank you. I love you.
Bye. Love you.
All right, friends. So we're actually going to start right outside the garden here. Here's the front of it. So I'm starting here because these are the hyacinth beans that I planted. I think I did the starts in spring and I didn't get them in till midsummer, but anyway, they were beautiful. I'll see if I can find a picture. It was like a whole wall. I loved it, of hyacinth beans. But look at the deer found them. They have decimated them, which is fine because they were more decoration, so at least they're eating that and not other things. But they were beautiful and just a beautiful wall of greenish purple. So I do miss them, but like I said, better than that than other things that we're eating. Here we're still doing the landscaping. We actually had this kind of like wildflowers this summer. We're digging it up to put some, this is a side note, some absolutely gorgeous hydrangeas called Fairy Trail Bride. I got 3 of them. They're a cascading white hydrangea. Oh my goodness, guys, that is gonna be so beautiful. So we're reworking that. So that's all that. But as we enter the garden, we turn to the left. These are some gorgeous annual salvia we had here playing the blues. Sebastian ripped out some of the supertunias that just were kind of languishing from the heat, but when he did that, they just kind of collapsed because we didn't realize they were holding them up. And here you can see, look at, this is from last night, the naughty deer. Look at, they even tipped over my plants, and look at, jumping up in the beds. Who would have thought? Look at those hoof prints. Naughty little things jumping in my beds. So every night they come and have a party and kind of eat out here. But I was really excited because these, we've been waiting for them to bloom. Just took forever, but they're finally blooming and they actually have beans on them. So that's fun. And this is from the hurricane. We thankfully didn't get anything other than a little wind and rain. But I just put all of my potted plants here. So that's just real life. They got to get moved back. That's stuff that has to be planted yet this fall. Kind of my storage, or as Sebastian would call my hoarding. I don't think it's hoarding. It's just some good plant backup. Right here we did a video on all of our peppers. Luca planted by himself. They are just looking gorgeous. The deer have started to munch on them. My secret weapon for the deer right now, you can see, is red cayenne pepper. I come out and sprinkle it every couple days. It works really well. And the reason that's happening is, you know, we have this up for the deer fence right here. We still have to put on all the ends, the gates and the trellises, so that will happen soon. It's in the works, but you know, it's just another thing to do. So for now, I'm putting the red pepper out. We had it barricaded with plywood, with harvest sheet. They still jumped over it. Those things can jump. The plywood they jumped over. The harvest cloth worked pretty well because we got pretty high, but we put everything away, like I said, for the hurricane, so just have to get that back out. So red pepper works really well for now. If you guys have any other ideas, I would love to hear them. I know like dog hair or urine helps too, but anyway. So back to the peppers, we have our cayenne peppers. I absolutely love these. We've been using them dried for red pepper flakes. Our snacker peppers, our banana peppers. There's some escamillo in there. Kind of a jungle of peppers, but they have been just producing so well. Here's some beautiful nasturtium flowers. You can eat the flowers and the leaves. And then Luke and I had a second planting of corn, so that's our second batch of sweet corn. We just harvested it yesterday. Behind that is this gorgeous vine that has taken over. It's our loofah. Isn't that pretty? So we grow loofah for not eating it, but for, look at those sunflowers intertwined with it, to dry it and to use as like a bath loofah. And let's see if I can show you. Lucas showed me, if I go behind, we can see it, how big this thing is. Okay, there's the top. Guys, look at this. It's like truly a baseball. You know, like when they say zucchini is like a baseball. They're just everywhere. I'm so excited. So we're just waiting for them to dry. You can see there's some fresh little ones. They're just everywhere. There's another one. So they're hiding in there. They're drying. That's gonna be so fun. Behind me, whoop, got a little bee in my hair. Behind me, we have our kind of like all-star, oops. Look at those deer. They kind of munched on this and found it last night. I put red pepper on it. It had been working for a little while, but looks like they got a little hungry, so we'll have to work a little extra on that. But this is like the all-star lettuce mix, and I think another baby lettuce mix. So I just sprinkled it in. Special makes fun of me because I sprinkled a little too heavy, but it's because we moved the drip tape later anyway. It's a nice full bed of beautiful lettuce. Yep, look at those little munchers. Ah, naughty little things. Unless that was a bunny. That could be a bunny. They're fine in our garden. These are beautiful flowers that are still growing from last spring. We just kept them in all spring and summer. I've cut them back a couple times to rejuvenate them. This is the Proven Winners Double Orchid, one of my absolute favorites for this year. Isn't that precious? I just love flowers in the garden because they're gorgeous. Sebastian and I both love making our place a place of production, but of beauty. And they also bring a ton of pollinators, which will, you know, pollinate our food, so even more productive. This is the Proven Winners Nemesia Aromance Pink. It kind of dried during the summer and it just flushed back and it smells like honey. Look how pretty that is. So it's an extra blessing this fall that plants are flushing back. This is my other favorite of this year. Proven Winners Trailing Blue Vein. It's like Bordeaux, but a little lighter. Gosh, guys, it's so pretty. And that color is picking up, I think, pretty true to real life. So anyway, those are kind of captured. Whoops. These are captured around here. We have this full of parsley. I just cut it back so it'd have a new flush for the fall. It was kind of dried up, so I gave it to the chickens. They love the parsley. This, we still have to add some more parsley. Does anyone know what that is? Surprise! We have a neighbor that feeds the deer around here to bait them. This is corn that the squirrels grab the corn cobs from the deer, eat it all over garden. We find it everywhere. So little corn sprouts. All right, this behind me is one of my birthday surprises that Sebastian helped surprise me with. We did it together. If you can see, going the wrong way, there we go. We had some gorgeous patio lights that we had bought and saved when we were building our house. and we put them up in a couple areas for my birthday. So I'm gonna turn you around so you can see it. Ta-da! I just love it so much. So all this was existing. We added this, the posts, and then Sebastian screwed the patio lights to the post. Super easy. We just ran an extension cord for now. We're gonna have to bury it. You can see it run. And then last year, Sebastian bought me this little bistro set for my birthday. I absolutely love it. One reason, because it's super light. I literally pick it up every day and I move it around the garden by the chickens. And it's just so cute because my favorite flower is a tulip and it has tulips in it. So I love it so much. But here you can see those gorgeous lights. They are on right now, but since it's bright, you can't see them too much. But they just make it so cozy, so special, and so warm. I just love it. It's my favorite place ever, and by the chickens too. And I think this is a new addition since we showed you guys a tour. We finished off the back paneling and framing for the garden, so that is super exciting. So same thing on all these L beds. We have parsley and the flowers here. Same mimicking the other L bed to our left that we were just in. We got to bury our drip tape. Look how pretty those flowers are flushing back just because the cooler nights. Like they're just, oh, I'll try to go slow so you guys can see them, but I'm just loving them. Look at that. They do have, you know, a little scraggliness. We could cut it here to haircut it and flush it back. That's kind of my trick when plants get dry from the high heat we have here in South Carolina, like extremely high heat in the summer. You can cut them back, they'll flush. Some of them just kind of rebounded and flushed on their own. So that's parsley. If we spin around here, look at this. The bees love this, you guys. This is the Proven Winners Blushing Princess. Oh, it makes me so happy because in the summer, if you have constant drip on, which we didn't yet, it does really well, but otherwise it dries out. So ours dried out. So now it is in its glory, what it's meant to be, full of bees. We're around these bees. Where'd it go? It's so quick. We're around these bees all day because they don't sting. They're just sweet honeybees. They don't bother anything. But look at that. It's like encompassing and covering it up. I love it. Cilantro, actually this self-seeded. We let ours go to seed. It all dropped down here. Kind of looks like snow right now from all those sweet alyssum petals, which smell like honey. But the cilantro self-seeded down here, so we just pulled it out of the gravel, stuck it in here. Need some water, but we'll have parsley that, or cilantro that way. It's so fun. So that's that bed, and this other L bed, we seeded some more cilantro. It's just taking its time. Ah, there it is. It's coming up. Sebastian will be excited because he was wondering if it was coming up. Look at that sweet little thing. More sweet alyssum. This is our stevia. I just cut it back because it's wanting to go to seed. I just have to clip all this and harvest it. We dry it. First time this year trying to dry it and save it for tea and for our own stevia. Look at that, friends. Oh, so sweet. Oh, I'm gonna have to step in this other bed here to capture this. Look at that, guys. I love it. So here's kind of the bad part of the garden. This is our zucchini. We had Dunja, Crookneck, and Zephyr. They produce like crazy. Luke and I kept an eye on them for squash bugs. We got their eggs, captured them most of the time, and then there was just one moment where they got it. So some of the stems are kind of sad, and then just once it cooled off, they just got so sad. So these are gonna be Sebastian's favorite thing to rip out next. He does not like things that look half dead, so I'm okay with that since they're they're still producing, but not amazingly. So we'll rip these out and I'll grow some new ones probably in the greenhouse this year. So that's just next phase of that. This is the ugly we had. I'll see if I can find a picture. This bed was solid of green beans. So gorgeous. We picked and picked and picked from them. I think we had several videos of that too. And this was the first thing the deer, there's one actually, the deer found and absolutely loved and decimated. So kind of sad, but you know, it happens. So it could be worse, not the worst thing. But we'll replant green beans and get those going, like I said, probably in the greenhouse, which will be fun. Here are our Dwarf Zinnias. They are just so happy and so pretty. First time we've planted dwarf ones. I just love their color. And here's some more. And then nasturtium are just beautiful. Luca loves picking these and they smell so good. Here's another kind of bad, ugly area. I'm cleaning out the kale. Here's a salvia we transplanted. It's doing pretty good. Look at all those bees. Beautiful. So it's doing pretty good for being transplanted, but this kale, some of it died. But you guys, right here, I've left it grow all spring and summer and fall, and I pick from this once to twice a day for the chickens and for us, and we get so much from it. Same thing here. This is the winter boar. So this is the winter boar kale. Red Russian, we got a little bit. Same thing, I just got to clean this up, just time, you know, taking the time to do it. Here's our dinosaur or lacinato. I think it's actually Toscano kale, the specific one I planted, and I give this to the chickens every day. We eat it, Caesar salad, just fun stuff, kale chips. So got to clean that out, make it pretty. These two ends, what do you think that is? As Luca likes to call them, sniveling rodents. As deer got our sunflowers, which is sad. I was looking forward to them, but that's what that is. And then we have our second planting of the Proven Winners Angelonia Pink, or Perfectly Pink Angelonia. On this side, it was planted sooner, and look at it. It's like turning to bushes. They're so beautiful. It makes me so happy. I love it. So on this end, we have this bed that is empty. I'm going to be planting and seeding our parsnips, rutabaga, if I'm saying that right. Sebastian always says I say it wrong because Wisconsin accent. And turnips in here for our winter, just full of winter. Perhaps what's over here are volunteer potatoes that keep growing up, which I just kind of left, and then, you know, deer found them. But I kind of left just to see if we could get any from it. But here are some of the tomatoes that are still growing. I'm going to leave these as long as possible because we have the best production still of these cherry tomatoes and some of the Oxheart pink tomatoes. Just got to clean some of these up, pull them out. General garden maintenance here. This area is open. It's getting a little weedy, so got to clean that up. Same as here. I'm gonna put tons of our spinach, Swiss chard, and then here was our cucumbers. The deer jumped in this bed. You can see they have a party at night. If we had a camera on, like the wildlife or nature cams, it would be such a party. I actually came out late one night, and because I forgot to check the chicken door, and there was a huge doe standing right here. She ran. I was like, you better get out of here, but they have a party. So anyway, they were in here, trampled the cucumbers, so that's why those are dead looking. So got to clean that out. And then here, if we swing around, is our newly planted turnips. They are doing absolutely amazing. These I've tried to guard. If you guys can see that with red pepper. It has, thank you Lord, has worked so far. But we'll have to keep adding it on there. And you can see they're starting to size up. In a couple weeks, they should be ready for picking, but they're just so pretty and fresh. I love it. Okay, over here is our barrel. Here we have to weed of our honeyberries. I don't know why they don't like this spot very much. So two of them looks like they're passed away, that they died, and then this one is struggling a little bit, so we'll have to take a closer look at that. Here's our rosemary. If you guys remember that video that I transplanted, that Christmas one, and Sebastian and I just trimmed it up. But look how beautiful it looks. It's doing so good. I just want to plant it in a real plant or pot soon, but it's doing great. Here is our bed of beets that are actually coming up. So this is newly planted and seeded. Here's leftovers of the hurricane just plants that we moved. That have a few weeds and I need to weed those out. Here's Luca's bed. It got a little wild with the stevia. That's mainly what's growing in there. A couple other things too. I think strawberry plants and all of those. I think strawberry plants and some other things. So, ooh, looks like he's got some dried scarlet runner beans. So pretty. Here is the area where the scarlet runner beans were. They were absolutely gorgeous. I will have to look for a picture, but guess who found them? The deer standing in the beds too. They were, you know, ready to switch out for peas or a fall crop, so that's okay. But they were so pretty. They were just full of, they're the sunrise ones, like a pinky salmon colored bloom. So pretty. Here's our strawberry bed. We actually replanted a lot or most of these, so these are coming back up. And it was a combination of the deer and squirrels eating them, so we had to replant a lot of them, which was sad, but thankfully these were from a family member's runners we just replanted. So these are doing pretty good for being planted that way. Here are some more of our tomatoes. I don't know, they're not, oh, I never saw this one, look at, it's producing. I got these planted super late. These are the pineapple, I think, tomatoes. So I might actually get some from that. Plus the deer have been eating over here. This is our pineapple tomatillo, or tomatillo. That is a ground cherry. It's another name for it. And they seem to love that as well. But they produced the absolute best. They're Sebastian's favorite tasting thing. They drop off when they're ready. They have a dry little husk, like a regular tomatillo. But they're like a pineapple berry flavor. There, you can see it. They're so delicious. Sebastian's gonna be so excited. So we have those, and then we have this one, which is a special name. I can't remember the name of it. See if we can put the name up on the screen. All right, guys, I think we've covered all of the beds. We have a lot of planting to do, a lot of ripping out to do, getting our cold crops in, our peas, just all that stuff. So we're gonna be working hard on doing that. But before we ripped everything out, I just wanted to show you guys real life and what is going on in the transition. Some things are absolutely beautiful. Some things are in transition and need to be switched. It's just their time. And some things are just really sad and really ugly because they just got eaten up or trampled over or dried up. So that's how it goes. That's what gardening is. That's what we're all learning. But I'm just so grateful for this space. It's just our sanctuary where we spend most of our time. I just love being out here with, of course, Sebastian, but Luca, and showing him, you know, what life is like and growing your own food and what seeds do and how God works, all that. So I'm happy to share it with you guys. We're just so grateful for it. And we hope you guys enjoy this. We will see you later. Bye.